Alrighty, so this is the last video I'm gonna review today. Oops. Sorry, it was not muted. Now it's muted, I hope. Let's take a look at this. Alrighty. I had pretty good moments here. Again, this is from the same day. Hi, Mira. Meerkat says hi. Meow. My baby girl. Sorry. So a couple of things here. We're gonna try to keep it short, okay? It's been a while since I've been doing videos. So starting at the finish. See all the different kinds of releases that we have. Oops. See the different kinds of releases that we have here. Like, not bad, most of us, but then I think that it's no, that's not Devon. Sabrina, I think it is. Over there, Sabrina. I don't know if you can see on 4th seat how like we kind of get caught into the water and we feather out into the water. But don't worry, you're not the only one. There's so many things, so many drills that I want to talk about, but right now, because of the time, and tomorrow because we have a long day scheduled for steady state, there's other things I want to prioritize. But take a look here, and when you get the blade off the water, mostly all of us are like feathering into the water. Like Sydney is doing an okay job there. Who's that? Ella kinda could be a little bit better. Grace, we're feathering while the blade is in the water. Rachel, kinda same. Rachel a little bit. I think that we could get it out a little bit cleaner before we start feathering. Catherine, not bad on that one. Again, a little bit. If I was super picky, I would be a little bit. We would like to see a little bit more clean. Devon feathering into the water. Sabrina feathering into the water. And Lorelai feathering a little bit into the water as well. So guys, what we want to try to find, rather than like feathering while we are into the water, we want to make sure that we think about that drill that we do sometimes, right? So the drill that we go to the finish all the way, and then we get it out on the square, and then we get the blade out clean. So this one, again, Sydney and Catherine, they don't do a bad job, but I think it could be better. It could be a little bit more cleaner, because see here, you guys, I'm looking right now on Sydney and Catherine, okay? The blade is halfway like out, and we start the release a little bit. We start the feathering a little bit into the water. So let's try to see it more as like a little bit more as like, you know, Ella there, for example, did a good job, but Ella, there's some other stuff that we'll talk about later. So think about getting the blade out nice and clean, and then when it's like almost out, or like 3/4 out, then we can start feathering. Okay guys, that feathering to the water slows down a lot. And Ella, your release is good, but however, we want to take a look at your angles here. So take a look here on the starboard side. See how like your angle there is not quite even. Your blade looks like it's a little bit like that one because of the view, I think. So I don't know if you can see, it starts like when we put it into the water, we match up. The problem is that because we are overreaching, Ella, well, more overreaching with your long arms, we're trying to overreach, and like we go a little bit farther, and then we get a mismatch at the catch. Again, since you're rolling it in, so as you like drive, you put the blade into the water, then you kind of match it up. But I would rather have you cut your catch a little bit more like this, rather than trying to keep going forward and forward and forward. So like try to like, rather than like overreach with the shoulders and then put the blade and then go to the catch position, I would rather just place the blade at the catch where we're supposed to catch, okay? I'm gonna take a look again, see if I can find an angle where you can see it better. So again, lack of it, well, part of it is see how we're bending our inboard hand a lot. So we might want to like rotate a little bit more there with that outside shoulder. We're rowing as we're pushing. We're putting the blade into the water as we're pushing. So it's not bad. I just feel we are a little bit too far off with that outside grip. So I would rather have you rotate a little bit more, and then ways to think like, you know, that can be avoided by giving a little bit more sequence during the recovery, Ella. So thinking a little bit more about the hands away, body over, while holding the knees down for a little bit. Give it some time and really big control there on the, see here in this one, you can see it pretty well. And then like a little bit more control there and less reaching forward, okay? So yeah, we can talk about it more later. What else? Oops. Not bad there, Catherine. Your finish looks pretty strong there. We've been relaxing the outside grip a little bit more, but again, the shoulder is kind of falling forward. I'm planning to talk about backing the shoulders tomorrow, okay? So we're going to talk about a couple of drills there. And then I can see from this angle, I can see Devin. Like, I feel sometimes... Oh, that one was a pretty good one. Sometimes Devin, we're a little bit late, but that one was good at the feather. At the squares, at the square up, square up. I'm tired, you guys. And Devin, we can see your shoulder. Take a look at your shoulder on the right side. Same as Catherine here. We're kind of like dropping it. We're dropping it, and that's causing a little bit of ineffectiveness. And yeah, I think like we are going a bit deep for my taste. Here, see, Sabrina and Catherine, pretty good job, and I'm seeing Devin, Lorelai, and Grace going quite deep with the oar. So let's make sure, guys, that we are like connected. We push first with the legs, and we then kind of like curl with the shoulder. Like, don't think about like overextending and then like pulling with the outside shoulder, but rather placing it, backing the shoulders and pushing with the legs. Remember, when we try to pick up a box, right? When you start a job and they show you how to pick up a box, because sometimes they have to show you that, right? So think more about like lifting the box with your legs. So think about like grabbing the box, kind of squatting, and then like pushing up with the legs, and then like with the hips. So really important to do that, okay? If not, our back is not gonna make it, and that's causing a little bit of like a short stroke and not super effective. Rachel, we touch water a little bit before the catch, so you're definitely like working on like backing it in, but now we have to learn how to like get closer to the water. I think that this one was better. Yeah, so on that one, the backing in intention was there to a point that we even touch water. So it's now it comes to those small adjustments, so to the small movements that we have to do with the handle, okay? So right now we're still kind of like, we go pretty well here. And that one you tried, but the next one, like it looks like you're like pausing, pushing with the legs or pulling with the body as you go towards the bow. So remember, as soon as we are here, we can like put the blade into the water. I don't have a side video, so you'll have to bear with me here. I just did like a front one, but Rachel, I can see that you're I can see you're dropping here, you're lifting your outside shoulder, and you're dropping the right one, kind of like Alice doing. Let's see if I back it up a little bit. So yeah, kind of like what Alice doing. You guys have a pretty similar catch there. So you guys lift with the inboard, drop the shoulder, and then try to just pull. See here, you can see how tight that outside shoulder is, Rachel. because of the quality of the video, I can see the going back a little bit to that hula hoop motion that we have, the little circle. See here, Rachel, how you're leaning. It's really hard to see. You're leaning towards starboard, 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 and then all of a sudden you go to port. Boom. To start, like you're going starboard, 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 and then port. Boom. So we want to make sure that we keep like, we rotate towards the oarlock again with our waist, like with our rib cage. We rotate towards the oarlock, and then we put the blade as we go towards the catch by rotating again, like if we were doing a Russian twist, if we were doing the knee chops, stuff like that. So back that blade in as you rotate with the waist and put the blade into the water, and then think about keeping that rotation for the first part, but the shoulders, they should not be uneven. The shoulders both on the right and on the left should be kind of as in the like in a pretty similar level, right? We don't want the shoulders to drop one side and then the other. It will probably will a little bit, but the less the better. Lorelai, my friend, same kind of thing on the shoulder with you. We're pulling a lot. I don't know, you can see here how you like kind of like bring your shoulder up as you drive. We would like to see a little bit more legs than that, okay? So we're going to talk about it tomorrow. But definitely we don't want that shoulder to like kind of like overreach and like fall forward, and then we don't want to pull and bring the shoulder up as we drive, because that's causing, Lorelai, I don't know if you can see your oar, how deep into the water is going there. So yes, make sure that you bring the shoulders down as you drive, and let's see if tomorrow we can talk about some things. Sabrina cannot see really well, but we talked about it, how we kind of like release into the water. We're going a bit deep over here. Same to you, Devin. And now that I'm looking at it, it's this perspective probably. Before I say anything, let me check. Yeah, it depends on the stroke. So this one, Sabrina, like yes, I feel like you're going quite deep there. And I can see how you break the arms a little bit early, and you kind of do like we were telling Rachel, you kind of do like the thing like you go towards starboard and then you go to port, so there's a little bit of like wiggle there. So we want to make sure that we rotate, we keep our body in the center, and we don't like try to like go like towards starboard and then port. So yes, keep those bodies even. It's hard, but we want the less movement the better. And then Grace, my friend, look at that blade, how deep it goes. We are like we're putting a lot of pressure, we're putting a lot of like this aggressive movement at the catch, that it's kind of hurting us. And I can see your legs as you put the blade into the water, how they're traveling. Remember, we want to make sure that you put the blade into the water and then push with the legs. We don't want this rowing to be aggressive, and don't be mindful about our technique, okay? So I would rather have you slow down for a second, make sure that we put the blade into the water here, and then think about like the top quarter that we do, and think about driving with the legs first while keeping the body forward, and making sure that we don't just slam the legs down. So when you guys are biking, when you guys go when you're about to brake, you see that there's the light that has turned red, right? So you see it from afar. You don't like paddle all the way. You don't you don't like go all the way super fast with your bike, and then like right before the light you just brake suddenly, right? You want to make sure that you progressively brake, that you progressively apply the pressure by putting the blade into the water first and feeling the catch, feeling it, and then pushing with the legs, okay? So yeah, I mean, it was not a bad practice at all. I think you guys were going pretty well, but there's still some things that can make us better, so let's keep it up.